Okay, okay. So let's turn back time. Okay, let's turn back time. So, what school time moments do you miss and wish it could happen again in the future? Any favorite
Uh,
moments?
okay, well, this one I would say I'd have to go back to my JC too. My grade 12, that was my last year, and COVID took my graduation away from me, which I'm so sad about. But um honestly, that year, I I think that was probably my best year in Rebels. So fun fact about me, I didn't like school. Not in a sense like, I mean, like I know a lot of people don't like school, but I genuinely was so excited to get out of school and get into uni because I was always like, I can't handle it. Like I feel like there are so many people. I'm always like I went through a lot of sadness in my time, like through primary and secondary school, that I constantly was just like, I need to get out of here. I can't stay here. I can't stay here. I don't feel like I felt so alone in a lot of those times. And it was in JC too. I finally didn't feel like that. And I was like, that was like it was so great. I still have so many Snapchat memories of me and like my friends. And like every year, they say like, oh, 1 year ago or 2 years ago. And then like I watch them and I still feel the same way I felt when I took those videos. I feel so happy. I feel like so like, oh my God, this is young. This is me young. This is me enjoying the present time. This is me finally saying, it's not that it's me finally kind of like wishing that I didn't have to go, that I didn't have to leave all my friends, that I didn't have to move on from this. I miss them, and we don't talk that much anymore, unfortunately. But that honestly, that entire year, where it was constantly like, you like afternoon classes, and then what happens in afternoon classes? You buy food together, you drink coffee together, you experience things together in this time where you're almost graduating. And it's like it's so bittersweet in a sense where it's like I love them so much, I loved my friends so much, and it's just there's so much that I experienced there that I just felt like so happy. I think that whole year would be like a moment in a sense, or at least the first half, because COVID took the second half. Would be a moment, and I wish it could happen again in the future, where I was just, my teachers were amazing, my friends were amazing. When I went to school and I was like, this is gonna be great because I'm gonna see my friends. And then my teachers there, Mr. Yas, Mr. Laxman, and Mr. George was there too for a bit, and everything. It was great. Miss Sheena, and she
Oh,
was like, yeah. So those are the things. Those are the people that made at least my last year of high school really memorable. And I was really sad when we had that like goodbye Zoom call. I think that's like no, that's probably not the first time. But yeah, yeah, that was amazing. I think that year, half a year alone, those 6 months changed my life, I would say. They gave me such great memories, and I would definitely want to experience that again. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We always cherish every moments in life because time keeps on ticking and we gotta move on. And moving on, by the way, do you live alone or with someone else? Maybe like, are you independent enough to live alone by yourself? And who's gonna protect you, though?
So in if you're asking as in like, are you living alone like without family? Yes, I am living alone. I live in a house right now with so I have housemates, not roommates. So technically it is with someone else, but I have no family here. So not I have no family in Toronto. I do have in Vancouver. So yeah. So there's that. Relating it to being independent, I mostly do things by myself. No one really does anything for anyone else. It's not like I have someone that comes and like cooks for me and everything. You clean your own space and everything. Being independent, again, this is another thing that I think finds naturally. This is why I feel like university, it's really like a time in your life where you find out most things about yourself. And it's like mind blowing almost. Because to me, I expected sorry, this is just a little side note, but like I expected, oh my God, when you go to uni, Claire, you're going to be like, you're gonna go out with your friends every night because you don't have a curfew, you don't have parents telling you gotta stay home, you can go anywhere, right? And I came here and I was like, I don't want to go out. I want to stay home and watch anime. Like, I don't want to go out. I want to stay home, get under my blanket, write something sad, and call it a day. And I was like, oh my God, like this is so different from what JC2 me thought that uni was gonna be like. So yeah, again, now going back to the whole independent thing, it's like, you have to do your own dishes, for example. That's one example. That's a small example, but um I didn't have to do that back home. But yeah, I have to do my own dishes. I have to mop my own floors. I have to change my sheets. I have to do my own laundry. It is a lot. And it seems like it's a lot. But again, this is just things that you have to do. You don't want to leave your dishes like in the sink. Someone's gonna complain, especially if you don't live alone. And you kind of just like, you grow up, you mature. This is the time in your life where you kind of start doing things for yourself. And it gets a little hard sometimes because you have to study, you have to do things. But then again, this is great because you're learning outside of the classroom. You are learning outside of your studies. You never stop learning in life. And this is just one of those things. You learn about, oh, okay, this is how I wash my dishes properly. This is like something that I feel like a lot of people don't think about. Like, like those tags like on your clothes where it's like, oh, you can only wash this with the same colors, no dryer. That actually becomes important when you're here. Wait, I mean, not when you're in Canada, but like when you're in uni and you're like, oh, okay, I have to split this up. I have to do this and that. And you kind of like learn how to manage your money better, for example, because you're not constantly, you are getting a flow from your parents, but you also kind of become more conscious of it instead of looking at it as if it's like an unlimited card. And you start being like, oh, okay, this week I need to do this, 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 this. You plan for the future more. You do things for yourself more that probably you didn't do back when you're still like, in Raffles, like when I was still at Raffles. And it just happens naturally. And then after a while, I've been doing it for like a year plus. And after a while, it's just like, it's normal. It's normal. It's being independent. You kind of don't even realize it. But yeah, it is normal. It's just something that happens, in my opinion, naturally. You are just gonna have to do it. You're going to have to do it. You don't want to have dusty floors. You don't want to sleep in the same sheets for a whole month. You do not want to ever not do your laundry or anything like that. You're going to do it because you are going to feel like I should do it. And besides cleaning and everything, just a little side note, I believe cleaning relates to better mental health. So, if you have a better place to study, that's going to help you too. So, yeah.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Maybe you want to drink for a while there? You've been talking a lot. Are you not thirsty?
I've been drinking my coffee since just now, so I'm good. It's okay. Do you guys can take a break? Don't worry.
Okay, so like, should we move on or like take a break first? Oh, okay. So like in that case, how do Ruffles shape your character and in life?
I guess this is something that I saw a lot of myself in uni, and it's the fact that it's like, especially in those years where you have exams, like IGC, for me, it was IGCSE, AS, and A levels. It's just you, I think that you put in like, okay, how am I going to say this? I think Raffles helped me in a sort of sense, like with how to plan ahead. Because Mr. Lakshman, Mr. Yash, for example, it would be like maybe we're in term 2, for example, and they're already saying, okay, start revising, start everything. And I'm like, why would I revise 6 months before the exam? And it's like, I realize now I should have revised 6 months before the exam. But like, yeah, now going back to this, I know exactly like how much time, not exactly, but like I kind of know how much time I need for each subject. I know how to keep constantly like working and going for it. Like I think that is one thing that Raffles has taught me, at least in JC1 and JC2, being able to um push yourself through. Even if you don't feel like it, just push yourself through. Again, using the study tips that I gave. But like, yeah, that is something that Raffles helped, and it's just giving me, providing, no, sorry, helping me explore my resilient side, I would say that. And it's sort of just being able to give me like, a drive in some sort of sense for academics. And it shows so much more in university, because in university you don't have teachers constantly telling you, if you don't I mean, like they'll give you a deadline, they'll give you a reminder, but if you don't do it, that's it. You get a 0. They're not gonna be like, why didn't you do it? I'll give you an extra day to extend. No, you don't do it, that's it. It's over. Unless you text them and not text them, sorry, unless you notify them and you're like, I need an extension because of this. And sometimes they'd be willing to give it to you. So yeah, how did Raffles shape my character and you know, like in life in general? I guess it's just that helping me build my resiliency in terms of like academics, especially, or in like in all of things. Again, going back to the independence thing about having to live alone, I think that if I was someone who just having no experience of being able to take care of myself in that way and pushing through to constantly do that, it's like it's hard to take care of yourself sometimes, and it's something you should be proud of doing. So it's like yeah, I think that's a really it, being resilient in the little things that we all do, studying, taking care of yourself, whatever it is. That's how Raffles would help me, I'd say. So yeah.
Okay, so like, because of this COVID, for a couple of years we did online, right? It's like, what do you think and how do you feel about online school? Do you like online school more or like offline?
Well, for me, I know that people say being online, like it's hard to connect, and I totally agree with that. I didn't feel that way until I moved here in uni. And when you're in uni, everything was online. I don't know about anything. I was kind of just like, I don't know what's going on. This is something that I wish Raffles did teach me though. It's how to navigate uni things, like whether it's like uni emails and it's like all that stuff, especially like enrolling in courses. I was so confused about that. I really that would have been a great post-exam activity, especially for JC2 kids, just being able to give a little overview of like, okay, this is usually the general layout of this kind of stuff. But anyways, going back to the question, I'm so sorry, I keep diverging. Online, it's harder to connect with people, surprisingly. And it's like, because to me, I'm just looking at your face on the screen. I'm not like talking to you. I don't like feel like your presence or anything. And most of the time, again, people keep their cameras off and everything. Even if they don't, you're kind of just staring at them. They're not even looking at you, or they're just staring back at you, and you're kind of like, okay, this is it. It's not fun when you don't know anyone. But again, to me, I feel like there's no difference because I just learn anyway like that. Um, and I'm also sort of an introvert. So, excuse me, so I don't actually find myself talking to people, whether it's online or offline school. But some people might feel that difference in a sense, like when it's offline, you're definitely more likely to talk to people. Like I saw this in my leadership training because I attended this leadership training when it was online. And I didn't talk to anyone. No one talked to each other, as far as I know. Like after the breakout room, for example, that's it. We go back to the main room. I don't think anyone talked to each other after that. But then in the offline, where I helped facilitate it, where I volunteered to facilitate it, people were actually talking like outside of the breakout room. They were in their groups. And then when we went for lunch together, for example, or when we took a break, like they were conversing with each other, they were exchanging socials and everything. And it's just like you can definitely see that more like that sense of community more in offline as compared to online school. Me personally, I don't really find a difference. I like that I can, I feel like schools should have a sort of hybrid model, at least in university, because, people have to commute to school sometimes and it takes hours and hours and hours. So it's like being able to at least, okay, if you can't attend the lecture, here's a recording, stuff like that. And that I feel like that's a better option instead of forcing everyone to just one. It's like stay at home or come to school. And I think it should be more of like a balance between the two. So that's my opinion. Yeah.
In Raffles, we have a lot of different events. For example, when I was still in Sec 1, back then, like we went to Bogor. We had an event called CBC Camp, or Character Building Camp. Or in Sec 4, we have Learning Beyond Classroom, and a lot of things that's going on. So we would like to know like the events in university. Like what are the events that take place there?
Well, for orientation, there are several orientations actually. So I help facilitate them this year. So there is the general orientation where everyone's kind of there and you're going to be split into groups and everything. But there's this one thing on orientation in here that we have. It's called Frosh Week, and it's basically a week full which you can join and sign up for. You get like a ticket or something, and then like you attend all these things. You attend the YOD. I forgot what that stands for, but that's the general orientation. You have the academic orientation, which is specific to your faculty and your major. And usually this is where people make friends. And it's like Frosh Week, they have like several things. So I know it's a whole week of like just event after event after event. So for example, there was a concert on the Friday. There was like there were like these club showings on like the Wednesday or the Tuesday. And then like again, different days have different things. And it's like, so those are one of the events called Frosh Week. It might differ in your own university, but I do think that a lot of universities have something like that. And it's just for you, it's really great to find friends, at least for your first year or stuff like that. In your major, you'll probably be taking the same classes together anyway. So you'll constantly be meeting them. And who knows? They might be your like friends for life. Again, that's a bit, friends for a long time, I'll say that. But yeah. And then other things, they kind of have a lot. The thing is, there are so many student clubs in university. It just depends on what you want to join. That's really it. And all these student clubs, I'm part of UPSA, which is the one that I'm a peer mentor for. We had an event, it's called a Get Psyched social event. And we had like these games and everything. And then people from all majors technically can come, but it was mostly psych majors there, I think. And you talk to people, you kind of just eat some food together, you just play some games, you have fun. That's like one of the events. Different clubs have different events, and especially now it's like almost Halloween. Everyone, I know that there is an event called the Haunted House in the Cadaver Lab. So I'm not going for that because I'm scared. But I do think that I think it'd be fun because you're gonna have like skeletons and like human muscles and everything like everywhere. I think it's gonna be a blast. I think that's just one of the things. Yeah, so again, it depends on the student club. It depends on like just that kind of stuff. In terms of the uni itself, like separate from the clubs, I can't think of anything besides the orientation stuff because it really, really depends on what community you're in. And yeah, those are just kind of the events. Most of the time it's like it's just games and stuff like that. A place where you can relax without feeling like I have to study, stuff like that. So I think that's what student clubs provide. And it's like sort of like this safe space where you can be outside of where you can be something besides a university student while also being a university student, because without the university you wouldn't have that club. But yeah, that's what I would say are our events kind of. So yeah.
During your time in Raffles, did you attend learning beyond the classroom in school? Where and how did you feel?
Do you mean like the camps, like as in like CBC camps? Do
Yeah,
you mean
specifically LBC specifically. Yeah.
I forgot the word for it, the term for it, but I did take one. Actually, I took several. I took one in grade 9. I don't know if they still have that one. I forgot what the name is. I'm so sorry, but it's like, so I think it's supposed to be like a CBC part 2, or it could be the LBC. And then I took the one in JC1 where we went to Jogja, was it? I believe. No, was it? No, that was in Sec 4. I'm so sorry. Grade 11 JC1. It was somewhere in Bogor, if I'm not wrong, and it was only for one night. Yeah, I did. And I did attend them. We went, I just remember a few, and it's like Kaliandra, Jogja, and Bogor. I think those are the three in like an order from like Sec 3, Sec 4, JC1. So yeah, there is that. And yeah, it was really fun. That's what I would say.
That's really nice of you guys.
Okay, so I believe you attend online university, right?
Right now it's sort of a hybrid. So I have some online, I have some offline. Yeah.